Nicolai. I'm going to start on your food because you must be glad to be here in Melbourne and eating some fresh food. It's a relief after that tortuous leg, isn't it?
It's definitely a hard leg for us, and it's definitely good to be here in Melbourne. It's I would lie if I said, you know, no worries. It was hard mentally, mainly. Physically, it wasn't too bad. It was windy and cold, but I'm from Denmark, so it's nothing we haven't done before. But mentally, it was a hard leg, and it still is. You know, we've got to rise from it now and get back on it, and it takes a bit of time, but we'll get there.
How much of a blow has this disappointing result? How much of a blow is it to the team?
It's for sure. It's a hard hit, and the team will, you know, take a bit of time before we regroup and recover. But that being said, we will get there because we have the right people and we have the right setup and the right team and the right atmosphere. So we have all the right, you know, items and things in place to do well and to be a successful team. So we can get there, and we just gotta, you know, put our heads down and get back on the horse again.
Can you kind of talk us through the kind of highs and lows of this leg? I mean, you came out of Cape Town and you guys were mixing it with the front runners, you know, as you got into the Southern Ocean.
I think we proved many times that we can be fast and we have the top speed. We just have the bottom level is too low for us. We need to, you know, be more consistent. Instead of having the highs and the lows, just be consistent and be top 3, top 4, and then when you get your chance, then you hit. And that comes down to many things, and mainly to some consistency in the team as well, and the crew, and we get working towards that. So yeah, it's up and down this leg, and the other leg's been the same thing. We had up and downs as well, and we just got to get a little bit away from that and a bit more into more consistency in any area.
I've got to ask you about the jibe. Can you talk us through it from your point of view? Where were you?
I was on the back pedestal, and it was always going to be a hard jibe when you have 50 knots of winds. It's either really, really good jibe or really, really bad. There's nothing in between, and yeah, in higher, it's always easy to be smart afterwards and say what you should have done, but in higher side we probably should have tacked and not risk it. But at the moment we've been pushing hard for 2 days. We're under control. We haven't made mistakes. The boat felt good, and we're confident at the moment. And you can only do what you feel. And everyone as a team agreed that it was a good thing to jibe, and it was the right thing, and we stick by it as a team. It's a full team decision.
And that, when the jibe went wrong, we watched the video and it looked pretty horrific, just sitting watching from the comfort of a laptop screen. What was it like on board? It must have been noisy and pretty terrifying.
It was a hard moment because straight away you knew result-wise now you're going to get punished. I mean, safety-wise, no problem, and you know, I think all of us been in worse situations, so none of us were, I think, nervous or anything safety-wise. It was straight into the result, saying, "Oh, this is going to be painful now," and it was, because we were right. It was hard to get the track fixed and the mainsail fixed and the battens, and yeah, you have so much experience, you know straight away that when you make a mistake, it's going to cost you long term, and we knew it straight away. So, but no, the jibe wasn't too bad. It was, you know, it was a bit of heel, a bit of water, and that's an everyday job in the Volvo Ocean Race.
Well, Nicolai, the resourcefulness of the crew has impressed everybody. I think people watching on social media have been very impressed with the way you guys rallied round, and it took 2 goes, but you managed to get it fixed. As boat captain, I guess you were kind of very heavily involved in all of that.
It was a hard process, you know, choosing the glue of the first repair, and we weren't agreeing, and you know that makes it hard. But you know, it's also hard to say I'm 100% sure this is the glue we have to use, and we all wasn't 100% sure. So yeah, I wouldn't talk too much about, you know, right or wrong in that situation. You're out there, it's 40-50 knots, it's 0 degrees, it's windy, cold, and I mean, you can only do what you can do out there, and the best decision you have is to go with your gut feel. And yeah, I think right after we did the first repair, I was sure it wasn't gonna last. I came down the rig and I told the guys this is not gonna go well for us, and it didn't. So we were a bit ready that we had to do a second one, but we still hoped for the best. And then after the second one, you knew straight away this is going to hold, this is good, and then it holds, and happy days.
Can you tell us a little bit about what it was like being up the rig in 40-50 knots of breeze? Pretty big vantage point.
It's not the best place to be working. It's a bad day at the office, I would call it. Yeah, you get beaten in the rig all the time. You try to have a helmet on, but then you can't work properly, and you're clipped onto the rig, but the rig is swinging, and each time the wave comes, you get hit straight to the rig, and you lose your tools and your glue, and it's not easy, but yeah, everyone's pretty dedicated to get going again, mainly not only for that leg but also for the next leg. It's only a few days now before we have to go, so if we were more late in here we would be compromising the next leg. So all these factors comes in, and you just gotta get the job done and take a bit of beating for a couple of hours.
How confident are you in this repair now? Is it going to have to be done again, or are you happy to go on with the repair you made on the water?
I'm happy to go on with this repair that we have now, but we probably won't. It's all the boat has to be the same, so our rig has to gonna get repaired as the same way the other rigs are, which is only fair. But no, I would go around the world with this repair, no problem. But yeah, that's the way it is.
And the mood now, the fighting spirit kicks in with this crew now?
This team is all about, I think, ups and downs, and we've been through a lot of stuff. And it's I think we're all proven that no matter how much trouble we're in, we keep fighting and keep putting our heads down and just get the job done. So it won't break us for sure. I mean, everyone's of course disappointed, and I think really disappointed, to be honest. That's only naturally, but it's not gonna affect us long term. We'll shake it off, a couple of beers and a bit of good food, and then we'll be good to go again in a couple of days.